Just from deep down my heart, for the Surveyor General who did not come to you through the council to come and tell you that they were actually working in your chiefdom doing ground mapping. Your Royal Highness, what they are trying to do is we are trying to define your boundaries, Your Royal Highness. I'm sure you're aware that there are many wrangles that are going on amongst our chiefs. And the job that they were doing would help us to make sure that the wrangles that are there can be dealt with. So I apologize on behalf of my ministry for not coming to tell you the program that the government had country. And this is why, as your children, Your Royal Highness, we have come to beg for you, ma'am.
But speaking earlier, Lusaka Province Minister Bowman Lusambo offended the senior chieftainess, Nkomesha Mukamambo II, when he indicated that the chieftainess was wrong, stating that he was disappointed with her and the royal establishment when they refused to attend a meeting held in his office as a representative of the president, words he later withdrew after an appraisal from the Indunas and the princes.
But for this meeting, for me, it's more like we are in court, and I wasn't expecting to subject the presidential envoy to be in court. For me, it is a very bad impression which we are giving to the president. And the words which have come from our Royal Highness Senior Chieftainess Information Mukamambo II, where she has declared that she needs positive answers from us. Failure to that, she'll continue keeping the government property in her custody, which is wrong. It's 100% wrong, because we came here to resolve this matter as stakeholders. And if we can take a meeting like this one in this manner, then we are not going anywhere. Because we don't know the answers she wants to get from us. And we don't do that, we don't know what she's expecting from us. And we came here to resolve. If there was a mistake which was committed, we wanted to open up a new page. But the stance from our Royal Highness Senior Chieftainess in Commission, the second, it's wrong from the government position. I rest my case.
Abani Mama, Ove, you call yourself my brother, yes. And I expect respect from our mother. If you are not happy, Honorable Minister, the way things have taken place, the way the meeting has flowed, you tell me what respect, or should I say audacity, that was presented, Honorable Minister. So if you don't feel, you saying, Matthew Alamba Kulinjamamu, Teshendifio, did it wrong, Kuriamu, Lamaga, but it's Chai Pachendamba. So no,
I think
Baba Minister, let's give Baba respect.
So wrong in this chief welfare. The minister can come and tell Bama in our presence to say she's wrong. She must withdraw this statement. That's what we are requesting for.
So for you to condemn me, my minister, my son.
Honorable Minister, this meeting was going to be very peaceful. He has spoiled.
The procedure was not properly followed. I thank you. I've withdrawn the word wrong.
For Prime TV News, I'm Gloria Mumba.
Hundreds of people in Vubwi constituency in the Eastern Province have been left homeless after their houses were demolished by a person claiming to be the owner of the land. About 4 villages in Vubwi's Zozwe area have had their houses brought down by armed police officer after a named individual obtained a court order to evict the settlers. The person behind the demolition exercise is believed to be an Italian based in Malawi. Eldord Bandana reports.
Hundreds of people in Vubwi constituency in the Eastern Province have been left homeless after their houses were demolished by a person claiming to be the owner of the land. The residents claim to be the owners of the said land, further claiming that they settled on the piece of land in 1910. It is 3 days now, and their future remains uncertain as they now complain over the mistreatment.
Takhala muno muzi kuchokera mu chaka cha 1910. Ndiyano tili chikhalire ni takhala tikuchita zitukuko zosiyana-siyana, boma yakhala ikutumangira maskulu, zipatala. Ndiyano tinadabwa kuti zaka ziwiri pambuyo pa kunamba kubwera mzungu numakamba kuti awa malo ni wanga. Ndiyano tili chikhalire ni tidangoona mosauzidwa chabe kunabwera wa salavei nuyamba kukajuwa malire nkukamba kuti midzi yonse iyi ili mfamu yomwe ife chinatidabwisa kwambiri ino chizwiso china chilichonse nudabwa kuti loko angakhale amfumu achifi wathu apemba moyo kapena aba DC kapena MP panalibe mbali ina iliyonse imene anatidziwitsa kuti yawa malo ni mfamu. So tinalungokhalira ndithu kuti iyi ni madasira ndi athu. Ndiyano tili mchikhalireni pamene tinali kuyembekezera. Sopani apa tinangoona kuti kunabwera wa salavei pamodzi ndi asilikali wapima komosatiuza kuti apa kuchitika chakuti. So nangodabwa walufika nuyambo tishokera manyumba. Pano tikamba manyumba wonse wanatishokera. Tinali ni makatundu osiyana-siyana pano tilibe chakudya. Ufa umene tinali kuyembekezera kuti tizidya wanatishokera pamodzi. Zofunda tilibe. Mablanketi ndi angakhale zovala vambiri zinashokewa. Mwa dzidzidzi nyumba ina atafika wanafuna kuti mpaka munali wana awiri wamene anagonamo. Kuwauza kuti ntuse wana chinakhala chovuta mpaka wanambo aufuna kupanda mzimayi koma mzimayi anazifosinga kungena mmoto mpaka ukaombola baja wana. Ambiri tinalima minda yonse, tinabyala mbewu, ena tinatenga nkhongole. Koma zija mbewu za nkhongole nkupezeka kuti watigawulira pano tibe china chilichonse chochita. So kati ngachite bwanji.
Ine nafutika zedi katundu yetse wawonongeka. Ndipo ine nibe mawe ayi ningolira ine panopa yoti munitandize mubwere pano. Mkaonde zimene zachitika pano.
Nthawi imene amatipirikitsa inali nthawi ya mvula komanso kumadzulo woda kumana ni mavuto ambiri kwambiri. Katundu udawonongeka ndithu udanyowa ndithu moti pano papalibenso china chilichonse ufa unyowa pano pati mavuto osaneneka.
Bwera asilikali awabwera tsopano amene tinawo konkuno anakapezeka kuti anayamba kuphwanya nyumba yanga. Ndiye nyumba izi atayamba kuyiphwanya ine nakamba kulankhula kuti ine nifuna kuti mnyumbamu muli ndalama nanga ndalama zanga zili kuti asilikali ananiyankha kuti tikulasani ni mfuti mkati amdala mukambakamba. Ndiye ine nakhala chete. Modi mnyumba mwanga ndalama imene anatenga ni 30,000 ya Zambia.
Children are the most vulnerable. The people can only appeal to government for intervention.
Alungu tithandizeni chifukwa chakuti zinazi zitatsogola ndalama pomapita kwa apolisiku kuno mtisiya pa mavuto komanso ndiyeti kuno tiona ngati simtiyang'anira alungu tiulirira inu. Komanso titapita mkati mujatchulira kuti chimanga zimbewu zonse mulufuniko choka lero ngati mutati mwamva mtipemphere mbewu zimene sadagawule kuti mbewuzo tikolole ngati inu mwavomera chaka chamawa ndipo akalimemo iyeyo mnu wake mzunguyo ngati inu muludzaza kuti nzabwino ngati izi ana anthu aluvutika. Komanso kutsogolo kuno kuti ntaona pamene tathawirapo loko pali mvula nuona ngati poti mwanzali kunkuno mpolisiyo akadulanso kumene tathawiranso tikamva kuti zinthu zavutanso akuti tidaibopi mabwino kumene konso tichoka mphamvu ili nino alungu nilikhulupirira kuti mphamvu ya polisi nyochepa koma inuyo alungu tikumbatireni.
For now, the situation will remain the same while the whereabouts of the person behind the demolition remains unknown, as reports indicates that he is of Italian origin and lives in Malawi. Edward Banda, Prime TV News, in Vubwi District, Eastern Province.
A Lumezi Council Secretary, Clement Mwale, has been caught illegally using a government vehicle. The vehicle has since been impounded as it was spotted in Lusaka by Works and Supply Minister Mutotwa Kafwaya. During an operation to clamp down on those illegally using government vehicles, Mwale could not produce a certificate of competency to use the government vehicle. Mr. Kafwaya has warned civil servants illegally driving government vehicles over the weekend to stop. He says it is sad that even senior government officials are driving government vehicles without certificates of competency and permits. Here's a report.
Lumezi in the Eastern Province has continued to make headlines in Lusaka. This time around, Council Secretary Clement Mwale has been caught in Lusaka for allegedly driving a government vehicle without a competence certificate.
He's driving a government vehicle, he has no competence. He says they've not yet recruited a driver and he's in the process of acquiring a competence, but then he's driving a government vehicle without a certificate of competence. So this is the challenge.
You need to impound.
Yes.
So you have to impound your vehicle until the proper processes and the deadline last at the competence will be under.
That's right.
It's very easy.
The other vehicles being delivered by you can park that one during that time.
Yes, but before he comes, we impound the vehicle. He will come and get it. We are not taking the vehicle away from the council, the Lumezi Council. We are taking the vehicle away from you because you don't qualify. So when your driver comes, we'll give it to you.
This was during an operation conducted by Works and Supply Minister Mutotwa Kafwaya in checking the use of government vehicles on the weekend.
Yes, I will use the Jamotka in our then our principal Batenga, then one Pasai, then our council.
The pass that your principal has, is it for this one, the one you are driving?
No.
No. So he has a pass for another car.
Yes.
You also have a pass for another car.
Yes.
So you just switch cars like that. If you are involved in an accident with this one, what will happen?
The operation was done in selected places in Lusaka and several vehicles were impounded for various offences. And the minister has warned those in the habit of abusing government vehicles.
People who think that abusing government vehicles is a thing to do, but let me be very, very clear that public assets are there for public service. They are not there to serve individuals who are entrusted to use them in public service, in rendering public service. So I want to warn all those who think that they can continue abusing public transport. This transport is there to serve the Zambian people. That's very important. And in fact, I am very, very sad that even senior public servants can engage in acts of abuse, because these are people who should actually implement these controls that we have put in place for ourselves in order to regulate junior officers. What we see every day is that it is actually His Excellency the President who gets ridiculed. It is him who gets insulted by the Zambian people. And yet, colleagues, we have not seen the President driving. We have not seen it. The people we have seen driving these government vehicles are government officers. So it's very, very important that we preserve the name of the President.
The Lunte lawmaker has, however, announced that such operations will be extended to rural areas.
We go down to districts, so even by appointing agents in those districts. But what about this operation? Is it restricted to Lusaka? Of course not. As and when we have an opportunity to visit provinces and districts, we are going to undertake these activities so that all perpetrators from across the country can be found, and we charge them accordingly.
Oswald Yaman II, Prime TV News, Lusaka.
Well, moving on with our news. In a reactive approach, Vice President Inonge Wina, who admitted being aware of the hunger situation in the Lumezi district, has directed her district disaster management committee to attend to the food crisis in the eastern part of Zambia. Responding to questions from members of parliament, Ms. Winner said a survey conducted in May 2018 on the hunger situation in Zambia spotted Lumezi as one of the affected areas. Ms. Winner says relief food will be sent to the area. Ms. Winner was responding to a question by UPND Manyinga Member of Parliament, Robert Lihefo, during the Vice President's question time in Parliament. Early this week, Prime Television exposed a sad reality of Zambians in Lumezi district surviving on mangoes due to lack of maize, despite being the country's staple food. Here's a report.
Despite Lumezi constituency having a representative in Parliament by the name of Pilila Jere, the lawmaker has remained mute on reports of hunger in her constituency.
Timakola yai nangalu mtu anatuyenda ni mpepo tuendela mango za zimula le zamala mtima uli bi waka panotiri tishitike uli
pakati pano bantu bambiri amagona chabe manga na poliji yake
se bantu osauka onani manga zitukulya so manga kati zamala tiliechi
tilije na bakulya bautize tingalie ko yai please wa boma funika batiganzireko na MPs tuamanya no amanya kwani banye na kasera ose.
It had to take opposition UPND Manyinga Member of Parliament Robert Lihefu to ask Vice President Inonge Winner during the Vice President's question time over the hunger and water crisis in some parts of Lumezi.
In Lumezi constituency, eastern part of Zambia, people are feeding and surviving on mangoes and sharing water with animals. Your Honor, Vice President, is this the sign of careful government failure?
The Vice President acknowledged that the area has the said challenges and that a survey was done in which it was discovered that indeed Lumezi needs relief food.
I'm not underestimating the report that is coming from the Honorable Member regarding the scarcity of food in Lumezi district. But the Honorable Member should also know that the DMNU in my office, working together with key stakeholders through the Zambia Vulnerability Assessment Committee, carried out an in-depth vulnerability needs assessment in May 2018 to ascertain the food security situation based on the hazards experienced by communities during the 2017-2018 season. However, if Lumezi was one of those districts assessed, then we know that it will be covered when the distribution of relief food is done.
She has however advised the district disaster management team to push for the quick delivery of relief food.
We request the district disaster management committee to inform the province, and the province in return for the district will inform the DMNU office in Lusaka so that an assessment is done quickly to ensure that the study before supported.
Oswald Yambande II, Prime TV News, Lusaka.
A governance expert has expressed concern with reports of hunger and lack of clean and safe drinking water in Lumezi district. Maxon Nkoma says it is disappointing and embarrassing to see Zambians surviving on mangoes. Mr. Nkoma has, however, advised the area Member of Parliament, Pirira Jere, to take keen interest and help the people in her constituency.
It is very devastating that in this time, age and era, we can be seeing people sharing drinking water with wild animals, people failing to take a bath simply because the area has no water. I think this is highly unacceptable. But what is coming out from Lumezi is really devastating, and it's sad to see that the situation has deteriorated to that level. But what is more shocking is that the area Member of Parliament is available, and DMMU and the parliamentary office, I mean the parliamentary motel where the MP most of the time is lodging because parliament is in session, is less than a kilometer away. An area member of parliament can easily go to DMMU to complain that there's no water in the constituency. But what we are seeing is very devastating. And when you come to the issue of people facing hunger, sleeping on mangoes, I think seriously, this is lack of seriousness by the elected leaders there, because we know that Eastern Province is one of the food basket in the country. So for a constituency to have lack of food in a manner that was portrayed on TV, I think is devastating, and it is too early for such kind of hunger to be said to be taking place there.
And now in international news, the World Health Organization has reported that road injuries are now the biggest killer of children and young adults worldwide. The organization published figures that also reveal Africa has the worst rate of road traffic deaths in the world. Its report says many African and South American countries do not have sufficient speed limit laws. But it also highlights that global road death rates relative to the size of the world's population are stabilizing. Car accidents are now the leading global cause of death amongst children and young adults aged 5 to 29 years old. And now in sports news, administrators in the handball fraternity have been urged to adhere to constitutional tools to avoid misconduct. The Handball Association of Zambia says administrators must follow the correct guidelines of the game. Handball Association of Zambia General Secretary Joseph Changa was speaking during a workshop in partnership Norwegian Olympic and Paralympic Committee and Confederation of Sports. Humphrey Mwansa has the details.
The Handball Association of Zambia, in partnership with the Norwegian Olympic Committee and Confederation of Sports, on Saturday held a workshop in Lusaka with handball administrators from various handball clubs to discuss adherence to the governance tools in order to avoid constitutional misconduct. Also on the table was discussions to provide guidance on the significance of saying no to gender-based violence within the sport as part of commemorating the 16 days activism against gender-based violence.
When an administrator has got access to one, sex. The second one is power. The third one is money. So when you give a leader money, you see the true colors, isn't it? When you give a leader authority, power, you see the true character.
We have been struggling so much with football and these other sports. So if you start, involving a lot of people living with disabilities in sports and also making the environment enabling, so that each and every person can participate, then I can assure you that sport will go in another direction.
Handball Association of Zambia General Secretary Joseph Changa has urged the sports administrators to adhere to constitutional tools.
The significance of this workshop is that as Handball Association of Zambia, we are trying to do away with constitutional misconduct whereby people who are running clubs, they are not observing the governance tools that they are supposed to abide to for them to smoothly run these clubs.
Prime TV Sports also spoke to some coaches who shared their experience during the workshop.
Today I've benefited a lot on this workshop. We've learned how to handle so many matters, especially on gender-based violence, and so many little things that have been ignored and how much we could actually try to improve this, especially in sports.
This workshop that we've come to attend here, I think it has enriched us with so many areas. It has covered a lot of areas like the ethics and values of sport, and also we've dwelled much on the gender-based violence in this workshop. So it has opened up to our minds as coaches and trainers that in most cases, most of the time, we have neglected, we've overlooked this issue of gender-based violence in sport.
For Prime TV Sports, I'm Humphrey Monza in Lusaka.
Well, that sport item wraps up the news. But before we go, a recap of the headlines. 3 ministers bow for Chieftainess Komesha's mercy. Hundreds of Vubwe residents left homeless as foreigner claims land ownership. Lomezi Council Secretary Clement Mwale caught contravening the law. In international news, accidents declared biggest killer of young people. And in sports news, handball administrators cautioned against misconduct. On behalf of the entire Prime Television News and Current Affairs team, this has been Lwando, Cheleka. Thank you so much for our company. Good night.